Hey everybody, Mr. Vendetta here. Today on our video, it is story time. I have a book to read to you. It's a book that I like a lot. I like it because it's interesting, teaches me something new, and it's got beautiful artwork in it. The book is all about something called, are you ready for this word? Perspective. Perspective. That's a three-clap word, and that means that's a big word. What does perspective mean? Well, I'll tell you, the spec part of perspective means see. So perspective is all about seeing things. But exactly, perspective is about how different people or different animals can look at the exact same thing, but their brain sees that thing in different ways. Now that might seem a little bit confusing. So why don't we get right into the book and then it'll seem much more clear. Here's our book, and it doesn't have a title or an author or an illustrator's name on the cover. It's just got a picture of a cat. Here's another cat. That's Lazarus. He's just here because he wants to hear the story too, probably because it's about a cat. Now, look at the cat, because on every page in the book, that cat is going to look different, because different animals and people are going to be looking at the cat, and from their perspective, they're going to see the cat in different ways. The title is called They All Saw a Cat by Brendan Wenzel. Now, since Brendan's name is the only one on here, I'm going to figure or think or guess that Brendan is not only the author who wrote the words, but he's also the illustrator who created the beautiful pictures, the beautiful artwork. Remember I told you that spec means see? And look, here's a pair of glasses. I wonder if that's because spec means see, and this book is all about perspective. The cat walked through the world with its whiskers, ears, and paws. Whiskers, ears, and paws. And a tail, too. And the child saw a cat. Now, what does the child see? Oh, the cat looks soft and furry and friendly. The child likes to pet it, likes to play with it. This is the child's perspective of what the cat looks like. This is what the child's brain sees. But look at how different the dog's perspective is. And the dog saw a cat. Now, what does the dog see? Long legs and a long tail. And look at how big the bell looks. I wonder if that's because the bell bothers the dog when it rings, when the cat's running around. Anyway, the dog doesn't look very happy. And the cat doesn't look very happy either. I think the cat knows that the dog doesn't like it. And the fox saw a cat. Yes, they all saw the cat. Now look at how different the fox's perspective is than the dog's. The fox doesn't see the cat as being long and skinny. The fox sees the cat as being kind of short and round. Something fun to chase, maybe something fun to eat. But I want you to notice that just like the dog, the bell looks bigger, because the fox can hear the bell, and maybe the fox doesn't like the bell either. The cat walked through the world with its whiskers, ears, and paws, and tail. Now look at how different this one is. And the fish saw a cat. Why do you think the fish sees the cat like this? Why doesn't the fish see the cat the way the fox saw the cat? Or the way the dog saw the cat? Or the way the child saw the cat? Why doesn't the fish see the cat as it really is? Why does the fish see the cat like this? Think about the size of the fish, the size of the cat. Think about where the fish lives. And then maybe you'll figure that out. Now the next page is a little on the scary side. And the mouse saw a cat. Oh my goodness, it's red. The cat looks dark. I see claws, I see fangs, I see angry eyes. And a very scared mouse. Look at how different the mouse's perspective is than the other animals. Think to yourself, why does the mouse see the cat this way? And the bee saw a cat. Yes, they all saw the cat. Now this is very interesting. That's very abstract, isn't it? I put a note here that says compound eyes. Bees appear to have two eyes, but each one of those big eyes is actually made up of many small eyes. So because the bee is seeing the cat with many, many eyes, maybe each eye sees a different spot on the cat. So the cat ends up looking kind of spotted. The bee's perspective, even though it's big, is completely different than the big cat that the fish saw. The cat walked through the world with its whiskers, ears, and paws, and tail. Look at how beautiful these illustrations are. I think he did this with watercolor. What do you think? Could that be watercolor? And the bird saw a cat. Now, I know that cats like to chase birds and cats like to eat birds. But the bird doesn't look too scared because from the bird's perspective, way up in the sky, the cat looks very tiny, very harmless. So the bird's not flying away. It's kind of watching to see what the cat is doing and where the cat's going. Now, if you'll remember from our last video, we talked about foreground, midground, and background. The bird is in the foreground, or the front of the picture. The bird is supposed to be closest to us. The cat and the fish swimming in the lake are in the background. They're farther away in the picture, so they look much, much smaller. And the flea saw a cat. A flea is a tiny little insect, a tiny little bug that loves to live on cats and dogs because the cats and dogs' fur is so warm. Now, fleas are very, 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 very tiny. They're about, gosh, they're smaller than a little grain of rice. So the flea barely sees any of the cat at all. It just sees the fur, which is where it lives. If it does see the cat's head, it looks very small because to the flea, it's very far away. This is almost symmetrical, isn't it? This side is backwards from this side. The colors are just different. And the snake saw a cat. Snakes must see in a lot of color because that cat looks very colorful. And the skunk saw a cat. Now I'm guessing that skunks can't see color. They just see black and white and gray because that's what the cat looks like from the skunk's perspective. Oh, here's two more interesting ones. And the worm saw a cat. I get it. The worm didn't see the cat with its eyes. I don't even know if a worm has eyes. The worm is under the ground, but it could feel the vibrations that went through the ground as the cat walked on top of the ground. And from those vibrations, the worm can figure out what the cat is shaped like and how big it is without ever actually seeing it, but just feeling the vibrations going through the earth. Now that's kind of similar to the way the bat sees the cat. And the bat saw a cat. Yes, they all saw a cat. They all saw the cat. Now, bats are nocturnal creatures. They go out at night, so they have to be able to figure out a way to be able to see at night. Now, it's very dark at night. A lot of animals can see better in the dark than we can. But what bats do is they send out a little sound, and when that sound bounces off of something and comes back to the bat's ears, the bat can kind of figure out what the size and shape of that thing is, whether it's a building or an animal or a person or a car. So the worm and the bat don't actually see the cat with their eyes, but they feel the vibrations and they can hear what the cat looks like from the sounds that bounce off of it. Yes, they all saw a cat. Wow, look at that picture. That's like all the different perspectives put together in one cat. It's beautiful. A child and a dog and a fox and a fish and a mouse and a bee and a bird and a flea and a snake and a skunk and a worm and a bat. The cat knew them all, and they all knew the cat. They all know the cat, but they all see the cat or feel the cat in many different, even scary ways. What a difference between the cute, cuddly cat that the child sees and the big, scary cat that the mouse sees. It's all in the perspective of who is seeing the object. Think of how perspective is in your own life. Right now, when you look at mom or dad or even me, do we look really big because you're really small? How is that perspective going to change as you grow up and get taller? It's all about perspective. I hope you enjoyed the book today, and I will see you very soon in our next video. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.